I don't know, but she thumped him.
That's kind of weak.
Upside the head. Well, she was a girl, and he was an old man. All right, that's it for the hour.
Other than that, it was even.
Yeah, duh. Rematch. We are Tuck and O'Neill, Florida Sports Talk, the team.
All right, people, let's start the meeting off with a round of quick-fire questions, shall we? Whoever gets the most correct answers gets tomorrow off. First question. What's the most efficient way to manage our expenses?
Concur.
How can you capture invoices electronically and manage approvals from anywhere?
Concur.
Last question. By switching to blank, we now have the tools that give us full visibility into company spending, which helps our bottom line.
Concur.
Bob, very impressive. You get tomorrow off.
But tomorrow's Saturday.
You get tomorrow off, Bob.
Thank you.
Expense, travel, invoice. Learn more at concur.com.
How's that kitchen remodel coming along?
I haven't found a reliable contractor and have no idea where to start.
What about Home Advisor?
Home what?
Home Advisor. They match you to pre-screened and top-rated pros for any kind of home project. You can even check pricing and book appointments online.
What's the catch?
No catch. Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Really? I'll check it out.
Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app.
Home Advisor. You're listening to WGGG Gainesville, WMOP Ocala, W261BA Ocala, W221DX Gainesville. This is your Florida Sports Talk station.
Fox Sports Trending now.
Usain Bolt will lose one of his Olympic gold medals because a relay teammate tested positive from the 2008 games. The sample from Nesta Carter, who ran the first leg, was retested last year with newer scientific methods. A banned stimulant was found. We're brought to you by TrueCar. When you're ready to buy a new or used car, visit TrueCar to enjoy a more confident car buying experience. Go to TrueCar.com. College basketball late tonight on Fox Sports 1, 11 p.m. Eastern. Number 8 UCLA, 19-2 this year at rival USC, which is 17-4. Announcer Brent Musburger, age 77, will end the play-by-play portion of his career next week and move to Las Vegas. Former Old Dominion coach Jeff Capel is battling ALS, according to his son Jeff, who is Duke's interim coach. Oscar De La Hoya, former boxing great, was arrested for DUI last night in Pasadena. I'm Steve DeSager.
We are Fox Sports.
Florida Sports Talk is broadcasting live from the Pomodoro Cafe studios. Pomodoro Cafe, located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville. For savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com.
Yes, it's time again for Buddy Martin. Call him up and tell him what you're thinking. But be kind because he's doing the best he can.
Better, stronger, faster.
Mama says that alligators are ornery because they got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Hey, what if the voice calls while you're gone?
Take a message.
Bye.
You ready, champ? I'm ready for this my whole life.
I'm incapable of small talk. But that's why you love me, right?
Kind of intimidating to be in the presence of so many great athletes.
And now, here he is, the host,
Buddy Martin.
Hello, welcome to the Buddy Martin Show on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network. You're looking live on Facebook Live. That's a tribute to one of the legendary sports broadcasters in history who announced today he will be retiring. More on that later. I'm Buddy Martin along with Tom Schmitz, intern David Nash. I don't know, maybe he's not even an intern anymore. He might be running the joint for all I know. Director Brendan Martin. And Shelby Williams, who's here from the University of Florida, introducing Shelby.
Hi, Shelby.
And good to have you, Shelby. Of course, we're coming to you live from the WMOP Ocala, WGGG Gainesville Southern Pigskin Studios, which we do every weeknight.
From 6 to 7 p.m.
Very much Tom Schmitz. That would be him. From Newberry, Florida to St. Mary's, Georgia, and a few places in between, including Brunswick and the Golden Isles of Sea Island, Jekyll Island, at beautiful St. Simon's.
You research little towns in Florida and Georgia
so
just for
that
that
bit,
don't you?
Got it
really
covered.
pretty.
St. Mary's, Florida. You ain't never been to St. Mary's, Florida in your life.
It's like you sing it. It comes out
By
like a
the
song.
way, by the way,
song
my roommate
word.
in college, Pat Talley, shout out to him up in St. Simon's Island. Okay, how are we looking on Facebook Live today, folks? We're still doing this. thank you so much for
the Buddy Martin Show.
Yes, you are. That's, we're really got a great response thanks to Brendan Martin, who's not in the picture, being blotted out of the sun by Tom Spence as we speak. He's dialing our first guest, Laura Rutledge. We're so excited to have Laura on. She's a former Gator Country intern, and I'll tell you a funny story about that in a minute. But glad to be with you today, and check us out on Buddy Martin Show, The Buddy Martin Show, Facebook Live. Please like it, right? And share it.
Yeah,
right?
like it.
You good with that? Yeah.
Well, you like it, share it with your friends.
Yeah.
And then
if
you don't catch us on the radio waves, or you, I should say, I'm only in for the interview with Laura.
Yeah.
Since
I know
vested
you're
interest.
a specialist.
But, well, nonetheless, I said if you
You're
just go, you can go to the Buddy Martin Show, and you can listen to it in your car, in the shower, wherever you want.
You come in for all the big segments we're going to have, Brendan Martin, and of course...
You don't want to see me in the shower.
No, we don't want to see you in the camera, by the way.
Wow. That is the total visual.
And incidentally, if I might get a word here as the host of the show, I want to welcome in our folks over here you see in the camera. One of them aspires to be Laura Rutledge one day. Shelby Williams joins us, University of Florida. Good to have you, Shelby. Good. And we have talking parts later, but I know you want to hear this segment. And, of course, David Nash, who is going to be around here for a while. Let's go right to the hotlines. She's a busy lady. She's one of the bright up-and-coming stars of ESPN. We knew her when. We always loved her. We love her now, and she is on her way to being well, she's a big star now. I'm pleased to announce that although I did say on my Facebook page she joins the show, and several people said, well, she'll be a good addition to the staff. I don't think Laura Rutledge is going to be doing that. But, Laura, how you doing?
I'm great, and it's great to hear your voice.
Great to hear yours, and I want to get right into something before we get started. You work with Brent Musburger, and I know you know him, and I know you, like us, Paul Feinbaum, I texted back and forth with him today. We're all kind of surprised at the abruptness, the fact that he is one of the greats that's retiring. Tell us about your reaction to Brent Musburger.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you always say you hope that these guys that have these incredible voices or ladies around sports never retire, because it's hard to imagine what a college football or basketball game would sound like without having Brent Musburger as a part of it. And yeah, very abrupt for sure, but I think the main thing that you look at with Brent is that he's always been somebody who's done what he's wanted to do when he's wanted to do it, and he has set himself up to be in a situation where he can do that right here. And I just, can't, like I said, can't imagine going and turning on the TV for a big game and not hearing "You Are Looking Live." That's something that we've grown so accustomed to, and just wish Brent the best going forward. But it will not be the same without him. That's for sure.
Yeah, I opened the show by saying you're looking live on Facebook Live in honor of Brent. Which, so what kind of a guy was he? He didn't die. What kind of a guy is he? Got any Brent Musburger stories?
Yeah, he's absolutely wonderful. And, I think one of the best ways that I can describe how great he is earlier this season in my first game with him. He, could have treated me like some random person, because truly to him I was and am. But he was so kind to me and so respectful and just had so many nice things to say. And I still get chills in thinking about the moment where he tossed me in the open of that game, and just hearing him say my name was almost jarring, because I never thought I would hear that, So just an incredible guy and so much fun, has a wonderful sense of humor, and I guarantee you he will enjoy this retirement and have really a great time doing everything that he's going to be able to do now.
So all those times you were doing Gator Country TV when you're such a young star, you never thought you'd hear Brent Musburger someday say, now here's Laura Rutledge, right?
I never thought it would happen, but it is pretty cool to think about.
We're going to give you a little treat here. Rutledge, right? Listen to this. Go ahead, Tom, pot it up.
But it is pretty cool to think about.
We're going to give you a little treat here. Rutledge, right? Listen to this. Go ahead, Tom, pot it up.
But it is pretty cool to think about.
We're going to give you a little treat here. Rutledge, right? Listen to this. Go ahead, Tom, pot it up.
But it is pretty cool to think about.
We're going to give you a little treat here. Listen to this.
Hey, Laura, sorry, are you there?
Yes.
I don't know if you remember this voice or not, but you and I used to work together on
yes.
Gator Country TV. My name is Brendan Martin.
I know this voice. Yes.
I want you to know that I drove really fast to get into this interview today to come in and tell you hello, because I haven't talked to you, I think, since the days that you worked at Gator Country TV with me and Jesse Walker.
Yes, and that is crazy for me to think about because we had so many fun times together, and we were kind of like the Three Musketeers, the three of us. You know, we did everything together, and I tell you what, it's really neat to be talking to you guys now, just because I feel like I owe all of you so much.
Oh, come on!
We
made us look good, Laura. And you know what? I'm attempting to stream the show tonight on Facebook Live with Dad, so you must help out a fellow streamer from back in the day. You and I and Jesse Walker streaming TV show after TV show out of the Gator Country TV studios. I think you have to share our Facebook Live page now that we knew you were going to be a big star. I want to remind you about where your humble beginnings were because go ahead.
Country TV, I'm Laura McKeeman here with this week's All Sports Report.
Can you remember the All Sports Report updates?
Gator hoops.
I remember the All Sports
Report
all too well.
You could. That's still on YouTube, by the way, which we found today, which is great. But I was talking to Jesse not too long ago. We were talking about our days with pumping out, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 streams a week and doing all sorts of Gator coverage. And those were fun times. It's really exciting to see. And I told you you were going to be a great big star. And we're all so proud of you and what you've done here back in Gainesville and Ocala.
Well, thank you. I'm proud of you guys. And I'm thrilled that the Buddy Martin show is still going strong and all the accomplishments that you guys have made. And it's just really special to have a father-son duo that's doing what you guys have been doing for so long. I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare in this business, and just Buddy's staying power is amazing. So you guys are wonderful and total just really pillars in the sports world. So we appreciate that, especially – you know, I feel like I have known you guys for a long time, but when you look at, you know, around this industry, it changes over so much. And to see how Buddy has just spanned all these years and the experience is just incredible. So very well respected, and that's pretty neat to see.
Well, thank you so much for those kind words. I take all the credit for discovering you, although I had none.
It's
but
not
I take
true.
it. I take it. So
it's not true. I discovered her.
Yeah. Everybody wants to discover her now. But, Laura, let me get to a couple of things real quick. I know you got to go tape something in a minute. I don't want to make you late. The assignment, your assignments have changed. First of all, you get Thursday night football. I mean, and I remember specifically saying to you, never said it, and Brendan said it to you, and I said it to you, you're the next Aaron Andrews. And every time I see you on Thursday, I say, well, here she goes. Here she goes. And I congratulate you with the high level of professionalism, because I got real nervous for you when I saw you the first time. I'm thinking, you know.
I know.
I mean, you know how it is. You know,
I really did.
No, I mean, serious. I'm thinking.
I know. I know the feeling.
I'm thinking, oh, please let her be great. God, you know. And you were. And you fulfilled every expectation. So congratulations. I can tell you put the time in. So I would like you, if you would, just a moment. There's a young woman here at our studio, Shelby Williams. This is her first day on as an intern. She's here. And I would like you to tell her the importance of putting in the time to get where you got.
Yeah, you know, well, first of all, Shelby, you're in great hands. So keep it going there and keep working hard, because I think that's the biggest thing. But I really think, you know, when it comes to credibility and figuring everything out, you just need to make sure that you are doing as much research as you possibly can. And that's really the key for everything in this business, is doing everything you can to make sure that you are so prepared, almost over-prepared, so that no one can ever catch you off guard. No one can ever say, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And I think that's where, you know, that's something that I think started back when I was with the Martins. So they really instilled that in me, that hard work. But I think that's the biggest key. And then the other thing, too, is remember to not be too hard on yourself. I probably spent way too much of my career feeling badly about one misstep or one tiny mistake, when at the end of the day, it's just not that big of a deal. And we are so fortunate to broadcast sports and to celebrate them. So, yeah, I think that's kind of the biggest thing.
Sure, yeah. I guess,
first of all, advice, get close to the microphone, right, Laura?
Yeah, get in there, girl.
What was the key things that you did that got you into your career where you are today? Like, what are some of the main things that you've done?
Right. I think the main thing was the experience on radio. That was something that allows you to have a conversational voice, and you do everything you can to really kind of develop your personality. So as much radio as you can get, as much written content as you can get, those are some things that I look back on now, and I'm really glad I had the chance to do. So that's good. And then just kind of, you don't say no to anything. Whatever assignment comes your way, whether it's, lacrosse, gymnastics, softball, baseball, anything, take it on and learn it and figure it out, and you'll do really well. And guys, I actually have to go and shoot this segment now.
I know you do. Give me 15 seconds on your personal life. Tell me about your marriage real quick. I know you're married to a baseball player. Tell me quickly. Give me your little bio.
Yeah, Josh Rutledge, my husband, who plays for the Red Sox, and we're kind of figuring out the whole long distance thing, but it's great.
All right, Laura, thank you so much.
Right, thank you guys.
Best of luck to you. Appreciate it very much.
Bye, Laura.
Laura Rutledge, everybody's sweetheart.
Another thing that she didn't give as advice? Pray your producer or pray the people in charge never put you on a set with someone like Justin Wells.
That actually has Justin Wells in it.
I know it does. I watched it today, and I know Justin's watching on Facebook Live, so there you go.
Oh, well, that's good. Him and Justin, the whole gang, yep.
Gator Derek on later today.
Brendan, we got about a minute before we get Hunter in here. We'll take a break, but I wanted you to talk about Gator Country TV, your invention, which was on, of course, local Cox cable channel and our website, Gator Country, and the young interns that you have. You used to have them over at your house. You had Justin, you had Laura, you had them all. Your buddy Tim Casey was there. Talk for a minute about what that experience is like, because you now have gone on to work in regular TV.
Well, it was really, at the time, we thought we felt like pirate radio. I think every moment we were wondering if we had any airtime, if we were going to get on the air, if the stream was going to work, if all the stuff we had was happening was going to operate. I mean, literally nobody was really streaming onto the internet back then, so we were really most of the time up to our eyeballs in trying to figure it out.
I want to stream. What do you mean you want to stream? Water will damage the equipment in this thing. What do you mean stream? We're not running a stream.
Remember the big recruiting show we had plans? And we went to a local establishment in Gainesville, and they were advertising and all set up, and you warned us in advance, if our Wi-Fi is not strong enough, we won't get to do this. We thought, it'll be fine, whatever. Yeah. We went over there, and it was so disappointing. We could not get on the air because of Wi-Fi.
Everybody walked in with their smartphones, and back then, everyone's Wi-Fi just automatically joined everything, and there was open Wi-Fi in every bar, and we saw our bandwidth die, and it was really back, we really thought we were onto something. We did do a lot of things for membership that was driven around the website, and we had private TV for our memberships, which turned out into the Gator Country TV show, which those streams all became different shows, which were a recruiting show and a round the horn kind of show. And then we put it all together and made one regional sports, in the end, had one regional sports show that we put out once a week that went around to a couple different states and Cox. And so, it was neat to see something from, a fledgling state grow into something real, and then of course went on to work in TV myself. I have a video production.
You guys were just ahead of your time. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take a break. Come back. We got basketball. Big night of upset city last night. Gator basketball tonight at 9:00. They got to turn it around. Hunter Turner's in the house, and we've got this thing with Brett Musburger. We're gonna get a little roundtable going. We're gonna get David involved in that as well, and we'll talk about this poll that's out by the Big Lead, which names the most powerful and important people in sports broadcasting. The top 30. I didn't see my name on it. I don't know what happened. But
they called me. I told them that you were too humble.
Oh, that's
why
you didn't want to be on it. But I did talk to a guy today who is on the list, and he will be joining us on the show next week. So we'll take a break, come back for more on the Buddy Martin Show
on the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
People make all kinds of mistakes with life insurance, like having some coverage but not enough to keep your family in the house. Or only having life insurance through work and then losing your job. Want to avoid those mistakes? Get an Allstate agent. They can help you get the coverage your family needs at an affordable price. Are you in good hands?
Hey, this is Kevin McDonald with the McDonald Allstate Agency. Call me today for your complimentary life insurance review. You can reach us at 622-2333.
Volkswagen of Ocala's #1 concern has always been great customer service. And now with their full lifetime warranties, they'll serve you even better than before. Volkswagen of Ocala is the best source for new and World Auto certified pre-owned Volkswagen cars, wagons, vans, and SUVs. Their professional and friendly staff can provide you with the best service to find the car you've been looking for. Stop by and see them west of I-75 on Highway 200 or VolkswagenofOcala.com. Volkswagen, the power of German engineering.
Car accident, work accident, wrongful death, personal injury, Social Security disability. Contact Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Call 352-629-7777. That's 352-629-7777. Or visit danhightower.com. Offices in Ocala, Florida.
Looking for exceptional golfing conditions with the best experience? Stone Creek Golf Club must be your choice. The plush conditions and the rolling hills of Ocala's countryside make it hard to play anywhere else. After your round, don't forget to stop into their full-service bar and grill with their big-screen televisions to enjoy the big game. Great food, great golf, and great people make for a great golfing experience. Only at Stone Creek Golf Club in Ocala. For tee times, call 352-854-1272 or visit StoneCreekGolfOcala.com for other specials.
It's time to fire off the ball and make a big food play. We've all tried barbecue in those other SEC cities, but we're always thankful to come home to the best, Adams Rib Company.
The competition is tough in those SEC cities, but we'll put our barbecue up against any of them. We use the finest quality meats and take time to baste it, smoking it to perfection.
The best barbecue in the conference, with 2 terrific 13th Street locations.
We guarantee a championship performance every time. Adams Rib Company. We're putting the ribs back in barbecue.
Not only does Triple Crown manufacture trailers, but they also service and repair all makes right at their facility. From boat trailers to enclosed trailers and everything in between. So challenge Triple Crown with your bearing job, rewiring, welding repairs, gate addition, hitch installation, or accessory. They're happy to help you service all trailers at Triple Crown Trailers. Call them today at 352-368-7885. That's 352-368-7885. And speak to their knowledgeable service staff to schedule your next appointment. Or stop by and visit Triple Crown's 2,100 square foot parts showroom at 4251 South Pine Avenue in Ocala. You can count on Triple Crown Trailers for quality service when you need it.
Good evening. I'm Ron Burgundy, and this is what's happening in your world tonight.
That's the way it is.
All right, here we are with the headlines. After a loss to Tennessee, Kentucky's coach John Calipari says, we made the lead to lose a few games in a row. I'm not getting through to some kids. Maybe losing basketball games will want to get through to these guys and show them they're not prima donnas, buddy. The ACC released its football schedule today. Some games of note. Florida State versus Alabama, we knew in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. Virginia Tech, West Virginia, Landover, Maryland. Louisville and Purdue at Lucas Oil Field. North Carolina State at South Carolina. Belk College kickoff game. And Georgia Tech at Tennessee. All in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game. All those are opening weeks and some games to look forward to. Clemson at Louisville. Miami at Florida State. Both of those are September 16th. Pitt at Georgia Tech on September 23rd. And Georgia Tech at Miami and Louisville at Florida State. Those are October 12th and October 21st. So those schedules have been released. An iconic sports broadcaster, Brent Musburger, as we touched on in the first segment, retiring at age 77. Musburger's career spanned nearly 50 years, and he will utter his famous "You're looking live" for the last time when he begins his final broadcast January 31st on a college basketball game between Kentucky and Georgia on ESPN.
All right, thanks very much, Tom. We'll be talking to Hunter here momentarily. He'll give us a rundown on basketball while we're waiting for that. Brent Musburger retires. Should he be on the Mount Rushmore of TV broadcasters? I know that Paul Feinbaum talked about it a lot today on his show. Paul will join us next week for a segment to talk about Brent Musburger. He knows him well. And he had a Mount Rushmore of college football announcers. I don't know that I totally agree with his list, but there's a lot of great names on it. And his list included Brent Musburger, Keith Jackson.
Whoa, Nelly.
You've heard of him. And probably, I doubt Shelby's ever heard of Keith Jackson. You look him up because he was sort of the godfather of college football broadcasters. And to be honest about this, and I'll share this later, Brent Musburger, who did a lot of big-time events, that was a huge star, and my whole Golden Nuggets about it today. Remember, he did NFL, NBA, whatever. When he started doing college football, he took on the persona of Keith Jackson. Became more Southern in his dialect, used some hometown phrases, etc. So, Musburger's on the list. Al Michaels, although I don't remember him doing that much college football, did some. And a guy that none of you people know, maybe Tom's heard of him. In my day, in Steve Spurrier's day, when you only had one college football game, Chris Schinkel did the broadcasting of every one of those games. And if you grew up in that era, he'd be your guy. And then finally, two names that I would say wouldn't be on my list, but on Five Bombs, Tim Brando and Ron Franklin. So there you go.
Ron Franklin would be on my list, but I don't know about Tim Brando. But Chris Schinkel collegiate golf tournaments held every year at Forest Heights Golf and Country Club in Statesboro, Georgia.
Of course, we all listen to that. So there you go.
Chris Schinkel's a great. I remember him from ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that Vern Lundquist was not on Fine Bomb's
list? On his list right there, and I'm going to get to that later.
Okay, roger that.
I think it might have been a bit of an oversight by him. So we will go back to the hotline right now and talk to Hunter Turner, who's going to give us an update on Upset City. We tried to get you on with Laura to ask a question. I know you're her buddy, but she had to leave early, so because she had to go tape something. So she said hi. Hunter, how you doing? Hunter Turner.
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Yeah, absolutely. Talking about legendary broadcaster before we get to basketball, Brent Musburger, I mean, he was the guy for me because what I learned today is he's going to start a family business of sports books in Vegas.
Yes.
That is incredible to me. And
I'm there.
Says, go ahead, Tom.
I'm there if he does.
Me too. I'm telling you right now. We're all going to Vegas, buddy. We'll broadcast live.
All right, good. We'll get your buggy and go up. What about basketball last night? Crazy night. The top four teams, 3 of the 4 got knocked out. And on top of that, we had, we got a game tonight that matters a lot to the SEC and to the Gators. So give us your take on that.
Buddy, it's the most important game of the season to me for Florida. If you look at the 3 out of 4 teams that got knocked down last night, it's the way college basketball should be. It's a longer season in basketball. We get so wrapped up in football, and it's only, 13, 14, 15 weeks a year now. And basketball, it runs a long time, and they play a lot of games. But this is the most important game for Florida's season. As Franz Beard said yesterday, and I totally agree with him, I believe that Florida has to go out, and they have to put up a strong performance. Not only win the game, buddy, they have to win it defiantly to me. The show, okay, LSU, I believe, is 9-9, okay? And so they have to go out and really put it to them. I mean, if they go lackadaisical and just start playing LSU's game, then they'll lose, and I don't know what's going to happen to the season. To me, this is a big game, not only for the Gators, but for Mike White as well. To put his stamp on things and say that he has the Florida Gators under control. I think this is a huge game for Mike White and the Gators.
Yeah, and, of course, Saturday they got another big one in the Big 12 SEC weekend. They got Oklahoma, so a couple of road games there to take care of. All right, Hunter, we're running behind schedule. Thanks for that update. We'll see you here tomorrow, all right?
Yes, sir. See
Hunter Turner, roll with Hunter Turner. And, guys, we only got a couple minutes for the break. This whole thing with Musburger is interesting. Some people have conjecture regarding what happened to him. We'll talk about it after break. Why did he pick now? Because it seemed kind of abrupt. Could it be related to something he said recently? We'll talk about that. We'll have a little brief roundtable discussion. But all you people who want to know about Gator recruiting, all right, make sure you tune in. Facebook Live. You can text us if you'd like to, of course, on our text line, 352-354-3492. You can catch us, of course, obviously on Gainesville 92.1 and right here 100.1 in Ocala. Lots of ways, Facebook Live, et cetera, to listen to us. Derek Tyson from ESPN knows a lot about recruiting. A lot of Gator fans, and a couple, at least one in this room, concerned about the lack of signees by Jim McElwain.
Deeply.
An article last week even asked the question, is he a bad recruiter? So we will examine that issue with Derek Tyson, and we'll discuss the Brent Musburger situation and how big he was and how relevant he was, and this new poll that's out on the most powerful people in sports media. There's 30 of them. You'll be surprised to hear who's number one. Our buddy Paul Feinbaum made number 25. The guy who was number one was on Feinbaum today and talk. So we'll talk about that, and we'll catch up on the latest news if anything breaks. Okay, we'll take a break, come back. Lots more coming your way on the Buddy Martin Show, streaming live right here on the
Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Florida Sports Talk is broadcasting live from the Pomodoro Cafe studios. Pomodoro Cafe, located on 39th Avenue in Gainesville. For savory menu items, check out PomodoroCafe.com.
Car accident, work accident, wrongful death, personal injury, Social Security disability. Contact Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Call 352-629-7777. That's 352-629-7777. Or visit danhightower.com. Offices in Ocala, Florida.
This is Brady Ackerman from Mid-State Skin Institute here in Ocala. Now, if you're like me and you're active and you spend a lot of time in the sun, whether it's working out or at the beach or even at your son's baseball games, you probably didn't use as much sunscreen as you should. That was the case with me. So I went and visited the good folks at Mid-State Skin Institute. They removed some of the wear and tear of my sun damage quickly and efficiently. Look, folks, your skin is important, and you must take care of it. If you haven't, go see Dr. Ashley Cawthon and her staff at Mid-State Skin Institute. They are locally owned and offer a variety of medical and cosmetic services. So call them today at 512-0092, 512-0092, or find out more at midstateskin.com.
Document Technologies has been helping Ocala business owners save money on their copiers and printers for more than 7 years. Now they've added the full line of award-winning color copiers and printers from CopyStar. CopyStar has a reputation for their overall low cost of ownership and unmatched reliability. Combine that with Document Technologies' fast local service and 5-year guarantee, you have a combination that can't be beat. Plus, they have special programs for nonprofit organizations and government programs. To find out more about how Document Technologies and CopyStar's award-winning color products can help your business, call Bill Schroeder at 352-368-6664 and start saving today. We use Document Technologies, and so should you. Call 352-368-6664.
And in Gainesville at 372-6666.
Document Technologies, the only copier company you'll ever need.
Hi, this is Dale Murray with Murray Automotive Group. With 3 convenient locations from North Florida to South Georgia, Murray Automotive Group can handle all your automotive needs. Shazam! There's no need to pay those big city prices at those big city dealers. Nobody beats Murray Automotive Group's prices, and I mean nobody. And we'll trade anything, from your pet canary to your old dictionary. We're always looking to hire quality new people, so apply online at ShazamAuto.com. Be American. Buy American. Buy Murray Automotive Group. Shazam!
Gator fans, check out the Fun and Gun Radio Show with Shane Matthews and me, Brady Ackerman, every Wednesday night from 7 p.m. right here on Florida Sports Talk. Each week we dive into Gator football, whether it's recruiting, coaching moves, or much more on the gridiron. We will talk about it. We also break down the latest in Gator basketball and even look at some of the other Gator sports making news. It's the Fun and Gun Radio Show, and it's brought to you by Murray Automotive Group in Stark. And it's every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. on Florida Sports Talk. Also, check out the show on the podcast page at floridasportstalk.fm.
Hello, and thanks for listening. We strive to bring you the best programming available, and we've got some exciting new shows for you next year, like Haircuts of the NBA, Have a Tebow-licious Day, and Who Wants to Buy My Colts Tickets. Be listening for them.
Florida Sports Talk Radio, 100.1 FM and AM 900 WMOP Ocala, 92.1 FM, AM 1230 WGGG Gainesville.
Welcome back to Daniel Hightower Wednesday. Daniel Hightower, a lawyer fighting for action and victim justice since 1976. Our thanks to Daniel Hightower and the team over there, Carol Alvey, for supporting us on the program every Wednesday. It's brought to you by Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer fighting for action and victim justice since 1976. Go to the hotline and talk to a guy who right now has got charts and graphs and, probably Bacchus and who knows what else, figuring out this mess that is called recruiting. If anybody can do it, Derek Tyson of ESPN can do that. And Derek, it's a pleasure to have you on this show. Well, you just left the company of a friend of yours, a former colleague of yours, Laura Rutledge. So, good day to have both of you on.
Well, thanks, buddy. I always enjoy coming on, and Laura was the talent. I was just there to so I don't get fined.
Well,
as
she
Marshawn Lynch would say.
You're underestimating yourself, but I must say that I wanted to ask you this question, and I forgot it. We kind of rushed, a couple of technical problems to deal with, but she's a beautiful young woman. She was Miss Florida, as we know. In a way, that made it more difficult for her. She had to overcome this in a man's world, so to speak. And I know everybody, including our young intern here today, Shelby Williams. If you're an attractive woman in a man's world, it can be very distracting. One of the things I love about Laura is she always kept it professional. And I think the athletes in return, respected her. And she's done really well, as you know, as your colleague at ESPN. So I wanted to say that about Laura. And she's a great person, too, on top of that. So let's talk about your job. Have you been sleeping nights, or you been up doing charts and graphs? I mean, this is recruiting season, brother. You got it going on.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is that time of year, that crunch time, where you don't get much sleep. That's all that's on your mind. Wife wants to go to a movie, and all I can do is look down at Twitter and look at my phone and just see what I'm missing, what's going on, and it's just that time of year. And until February 1st rolls around, once that's over with, then it is finally time to let out a sigh of relief. But till then, it's just go. And I can't. This is just for an easy job. I can't imagine if you're actually one of these schools that's recruiting and trying to, your livelihood depends on who you sign in these classes, and those teams are just, they're a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, and so I think it's a fun time of year for everybody involved. But I can imagine if I'm a school how nervous I would be right now.
Derek Tyson, ESPN, on this Daniel L. Hightower Wednesday. I'm reading kind of catch up because I'll be honest with you. I'm not a recruitnik. I do try to follow it, the people that I respect, including you. And there's been some really sort of critical stories written about Florida's situation. And I'll put that in balance because my experience, and tell me if I'm right or wrong, is that it only takes a couple of good 4-stars to turn that narrative around, right?
It really does. You hit on some key areas, quarterback for one, for instance, and some D tackles in the SEC, some D linemen, your front seven, and yeah, you get some guys in some main areas, some key areas, and you can certainly turn that program around. There's no question about it. I wrote an article recently on Florida's, how they've kind of regressed a little bit under McElwain, but they still have gotten some key guys in key areas. And you know what? That's part of the game. FSU, it goes in cycles. FSU has had their run. They're still having their run. They're doing a great job. Florida, to me, they have a couple of really strong recruiters on their staff, and I think there's a couple that maybe are not what you would expect at Florida or that level. But I think they're in the process of trying to get better there. McElwain knows that he's trying to land some elite recruiters for their open positions right now, and it's just a matter of time before Florida turns it around, and they have a chance to finish strong. They really do. I expect Florida to land anywhere between 8 and 10 guys on signing day, which is a little rare for Florida these days. But that's a good thing. They could finish strong, which will lead into some momentum for the next year's class. So I think they got a chance to turn it around. There's just some things that some of the things are out of their control as far as facilities and how the previous staff did, things like that. So I think they'll be fine. in the end, they just need to get it turned around here soon.
All right, Derek, there's one article written, I think it was the SEC cut. I don't know the writer. I hate not to take something, but he quotes a guy from Trinity Christian who talks about, from Jacksonville, saying that Florida tends to wait around to try to catch the big fish. And the kid that has those big-time Power 5 offers, they try to sneak in. It does seem they're doing a little bit of that. They're being more passive than reactive. And I know they're counting on a tackle out of Clemson transferring. There are things like that don't become visible on the stars chart, like 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. So as far as you're concerned, you've done this a while now. What do you think McElwain's strategy is in terms of recruiting? And why is he going to be no better than, say, 18th, 19th, whatever, unless he pulls off a couple of 4-stars or 5?
Yeah, it goes. First of all, let me say that SEC country. They were actually quoting my article. I
wondered about that.
I talked to Gerard Ross from Trinity, who I talked to about it. But anyways, basically, it's Florida's got to get on guys early in the process, and not just get on them early and just throw out an offer, but they got to continue to stay on them and show them love, that they are a priority. And they've started to do that. If you look, Florida's got 2 2019 commits already, and those 2 guys are very good. I mean, I'm talking top 100 players in the country good, for 2019 already. So they're getting there. They're working on it, and they understand that they have got to get on guys early, and they've got to not just offer them right away and then forget about them. They have to stay on those guys and really build relationships with them. That's what it's all about. When it's such a competitive league, and there's Alabamas and Florida State's near you and Miami's and Georgia's all doing well in recruiting Clemson, you have got to give these kids a reason to stick with you and be loyal to you. And that's all comes through building a relationship and staying on them consistently and make it so a guy feels guilty if he wants to go somewhere else. That's how you got to do it in this league. And I think Florida realizes that, and that's what they are certainly attempting to do at this point.
Speaking with Derek Tyson of ESPN. Derek, Tom Schmitz here. Let's go with the local scene, because I've done high school football here for 5 years now. You got the Ackerman kid that's going to South Carolina, some guy named Brady's kid. I don't know who that guy is. He's going to South Carolina. You got Adrian Pope, who's still out here looking. He's asking around. But the one shining light, University of Miami, N'Kosi Perry, is he the real deal? Is he exactly what we think he is in Marion County? Is he the real deal when he goes down to Miami?
Well, he really is. I mean, we have him ranked as the 3rd dual-threat quarterback in the country. I mean, he's 84th in the country. That's impressive. And Tom Luganville does our scouting, and he thinks very highly of him. A guy that can run and is also 6'4" and can really throw the ball. I mean, that is very unique. And I think this day and age, college quarterbacks, you see it starting to, teams that were more all about having a pocket passer, they're starting to kind of gradually go towards having a guy that can also run the ball. You saw what Alabama did. Nick Saban, you never thought he would have a dual-threat quarterback, and now all of a sudden he's got one, and they recruited the number 1 dual-threat quarterback in the country for next year, for this year. I mean, so that's the way it's going. And for Miami to get such a good one like N'Kosi Perry, he is an elite talent, had offers from Auburn, Miami, Georgia, Tennessee. Coaches at those schools know a little bit better than I do about how to evaluate talent. So if they're offering the kid, that shows you just how talented he is. So
I don't know about that. You're a college quarterback. You know how to evaluate people. But I don't put that much stock. They have a way of doing it. Hey, listen, we got a new guy here that wants to ask you a question. He's one of the ones upset about Florida recruiting. His name is David Nash, and he'd like to ask you a quick question. All right,
Derek, how you doing, sir?
Absolutely. Good. How are you, David?
I'm doing all right. I heard you say that you McElwain and staff are starting to understand the concept of showing these kids love early. I just can't fathom how somebody who's been under the tutelage of Nick Saban, and when you look at Kirby Smart coming out of Georgia pulling what he's pulling, how he didn't already know and understand that.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's to me, it's not about it's not that he didn't understand it. I think it's more about the assistant coaches and what their role was, and I know I know McElwain has talked to the assistant coaches recently about how imperative it is to stay on guys and so forth. And, you're right. The head coach, that should trickle down, and I think it is starting to now. He's made it a priority. And again, that's why they have 2019 commits. They just got a 2018 commit. They're offering a bunch of young guys right now that are talented. So I think that the message has been clear to the staff. Like, this is how it's got to be. You're not going to just float by your name anymore. You can't tell a kid I'm from Florida and then forget about it, and then he end up signing with you later in the process. You have got to show him that how important it is, or how important he is to your program and how much he means to you, or else you're not going to get him. There's too many other schools that come down to Florida, Michigan, Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama. They all come down here, and they have had success down here because of building relationships and doing things differently. And the times have changed. You can't just throw out Florida, the name, and it just automatically get a guy. You have got to build relationships. And I think Florida understands that and realizes that they got to, and they're starting to do a better job of that.
All right, Derek, I got 30 seconds. I'm looking at one of the other recruiting services rankings of the SEC. Alabama 1, Georgia 2, LSU 3, Auburn 4, and A&M on 5. You want to give me your top 5?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think I think Alabama's got to be number 1. Ohio State, I would have it number 2. They're right there. Georgia number 3. You can move it a lot of different ways. I think LSU 4 probably, and there's a lot of different teams that could.
Yeah, I just given you the SEC rankings that they had there. They had Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Auburn, and Florida is 8th in that group. Just so you know. So
yeah, Florida's 8th right now, but I think Florida's got a chance to finish really strong, and that's the key. Yeah. They only have 15 commits, and I think they will finish strong.
We're running out of time on National Signing Day, so when that's over, I'm gonna call you back and ask you how they did. That's okay. All right.
That absolutely.
Appreciate your time, Derek Tyson. You can read him on ESPN. You can see him on ESPN. I imagine you'll be in Bristol on the signing day, right?
Actually, no. I'm gonna be here. We got a lot of stuff going on with social media and a live blog running that we'll be doing. I'll be doing from home, so I'll be handling it here. But so I can't guarantee I'll have some available time. But if you need me, I will try my best to be available.
We'll do it afterwards because I know you're busy. How much quickly your Twitter handle for those people want to follow you?
It's at Derek Tyson ESPN.
DEREK, so you know.
I'm going to go eat pizza at Derek's house signing day if he's in town.
Sure, I'm sure he'll want that.
Come on.
Hey, listen, man, appreciate your time, all right? Good to talk to you. Thanks a lot. Okay, Derek Tyson, we promised on this Dana and L. Hightower Wednesday we're going to get to the story for the break. We only got a couple of minutes, if that, on the Musburger story, which we'll do a little bit more on tomorrow, and this list of most powerful people in sports media. I won't give you the whole list now, but I will tell you, Feinbaum was 25, Stephen A. Smith was number 1, okay? So just lay it down. I will say this. I had the same reaction you did. I heard the interview with Stephen A. Smith. I give him all the credit in the world for the fact he did work his way up from newspapers to get where he is.
Philadelphia Inquirer, right?
Well, actually, he worked at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution
first.
One time.
Oh, I didn't know
one time.
That.
So, and the other in Greenville.
But there's one name, and we'll get into it later.
Tomorrow we'll get into those tomorrow. But I want to get to this real quick on this whole thing with Musburger. You got to remember, there's certain people you hear on the air. When you hear them, you know it's a big event. And people who don't know Brent Musburger's history don't know how huge he was. He did the Final Four. He did.
It was huge.
He did NBA. He did the NFL. He did NFL Today. I have a story about that and my golden nugget about how that affected my life. But nonetheless, this guy was a monster. And the question is, everybody's got their eras. Would he be on your Mount Rushmore of broadcasters, Tom?
Most definitely. Okay. He'd be on there, but mine is a little skewed. Mine would be Keith Jackson, Brent Musburger.
You don't have to give it all, just that one.
But a guy I got to put the third one in there.
All right, go ahead.
I'd go with Kirk Gowdy because as a kid growing up, Kirk Gowdy was the baseball game of the week, and me, the baseball guy, 75 games a year. So
I haven't done my Mount Rushmore.
And then Buddy Martin, you'd have to be on that list.
Oh, I'd probably be only 5th though. So there you go. All right, David, you have a different perspective, real quick. We haven't got a chance to go through them all, but just give me your.
No, he would not be. Not because of his versatility was great, his ability was great. You knew he was an important person, but there are just some flubs, I guess you could say, that are just. You look at these other people who would be on my Mount Rushmore, and they don't have the same flubs.
All right, fair enough. Give me one.
Keith Jackson, of course.
All right, there you go.
Vern Lundquist.
Keith Jackson had to be on everybody's, I think.
All right, there's a different list out there about broadcasters. There's a difference to also people in versatility. You got to remember, calling a football game is more in broadcasting than that.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on in the studio show. There's a lot with, doing reporting.
In the late 70s and early 80s, I thought Brent Musburger was the voice of the NFL on NFL Today.
He was everything. So, all right, we will take a break on a Daniel L. Hightower Wednesday here on the Buddy Martin Show. Come back. I've got my golden nugget right here on
the Southern Pigskin Radio Network.
Volkswagen of Ocala's #1 concern has always been great customer service. And now with their full lifetime warranties, they'll serve you even better than before. Volkswagen of Ocala is the best source for new and World Auto certified pre-owned Volkswagen cars, wagons, vans, and SUVs. Their professional and friendly staff can provide you with the best service to find the car you've been looking for. Stop by and see them west of I-75 on Highway 200 or VolkswagenofOcala.com. Volkswagen, the power of German engineering.
Looking for that perfect gift for the man in your life? Do what my family's been doing. Shop at Griner's Fine Men's Apparel at 405 East Silver Springs Boulevard in Ocala. Griner's Clothing for Men has been an Ocala tradition since 1962, dedicated to delivering the highest quality in men's clothing while maintaining the highest standard of customer service. Their relationships last generations. So shop at Griner's Fine Men's Apparel in Ocala over the holidays for the man in your family. HDG Hotel Development and Management Group offers brilliance in the basics of hospitality with its award-winning hotels in Marion County. HDG is headquartered in Ocala and also located in surrounding counties, Citrus Lake, Sumter, and others. All HDG properties feature top-notch amenities, unbeatable value, and welcoming service. Let HDG help your friends, family, and corporate guests feel at home when they visit beautiful Florida. Find an HDG hotel at hdghotels.com. Car accident, work accident, wrongful death, personal injury, Social Security disability. Contact Daniel L. Hightower, lawyer, fighting for accident victim justice since 1976. Call 352-629-7777. That's 352-629-7777. Or visit danhightower.com. Offices in Ocala, Florida.
Looking for exceptional golfing conditions with the best experience? Stone Creek Golf Club must be your choice. The plush conditions and the rolling hills of Ocala's countryside make it hard to play anywhere else. After your round, don't forget to stop into their full-service bar and grill with their big screen televisions to enjoy the big game. Great food, great golf, and great people make for a great golfing experience. Only at Stone Creek Golf Club in Ocala. For tee times, call 352-854-1272 or visit StoneCreekGolfOcala.com for other specials. The time is now for your first RV or an RV upgrade. At America Choice RV, they'll make the RV buying process as easy and affordable as can be. With select 2016 travel trailers on sale at America Choice RV, with payments under $150 a month for qualified buyers, and over 400 RVs on sale, America Choice RV is the place to buy an RV. Find them in North Ocala off of 441 North today, or visit them online at AmericaChoiceRV.com. You can also call 1-800-RV-SALES to find your dream RV.
Start your mornings off right with the starting lineup.
You're listening to the starting lineup here on Florida Sports Talk. This game sealed the fate of the championship outcome for Team Ackerman in the AFFL. Just sealed the fate. Defense,
the AFFL.
The Ackerman Fantasy Football.
Oh, for the house.
No, I'm in a fantasy football league that I started with 10 teams.
Oh, and you gave it your own name?
Absolutely. Okay. I mean, I had a golf tournament with my own name.
Well, yeah, no, it's different, though. Like, are you the commissioner of your own league?
Yes, I'm the commissioner of my own league.
You can veto any trades or anything
I can do everything. And it's old school football.
Wonder who wins that league.
Yeah, well, I made it to the championship. I didn't win it.
The starting lineup with Brady Ackerman, Adam Reardon, and Steve Woodard. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9. Right here on Florida Sports Talk, The Team.
Now it's time for Buddy's Golden Nuggets.
I love gold. The taste of it, the smell of it, the texture.
All right, time for my Golden Nugget. When you're past your prime and your career is coming to a halt, there's a tendency to be dismissed as a has-been. With the news today that Brent Musburger is stepping aside, I would hope we won't do that with him. Brent will always be on my Mount Rushmore, although he did take some of the persona of Keith Jackson when he started doing college football. This guy was a giant. When you heard him say, looking live, you knew it was a big game. The NFL, the NBA, the college hoops, even Major League Baseball sometimes. He could broadcast an ant colony transporting a breadcrumb and make it sound exciting. It was on a day in April of 1990 I first heard Musburger had been cast aside by CBS during contract negotiations, and it kind of changed my life. Ironically, it was because that he stepped down on the NFL Today that Terry Bradshaw moved to the studio with Greg Gumbel, and I was able to go there and work with Terry Bradshaw. What a blessing that proved to be. But let's give credit where credit is due. In those days, there was nobody bigger in all of sports media than Brent Musburger. So let me say, thank you. Thank you, Brent, for that, for being the consummate pro as a TV broadcaster, and you always did it with class. That's my golden nugget for today on this Daniel L. Hightower Wednesday. Daniel L. Hightower, fighting for action and victim justice since 1976. And here's my tweets, which is a combination of quote and tweet. Clemson's Dabo Swinney says, if the Browns' Hugh Jackson passes on Deshaun Watson, he's passing on a, quote, Michael Jordan. That's his opinion of Deshaun Watson.
Well, everybody's got an opinion. Calm down now. Calm down, Michael. Okay, Dabo. Maybe you had a little, because I know he's a Christian, so I know he doesn't have he's a devout man, so I know he probably doesn't have a little alcohol. I know maybe he bumped his head celebrating or something. I don't know what happened to Dabo there.
I know, we're going to begin this conversation. Exactly.
Michael Jordan.
I think Cleveland would be doing Deshaun a favor by passing on him.
Lost your mind. Hey, buddy, it's time to thank our guest. Our guest today, Laura Rutledge of ESPN, Derek Tyson of ESPN, of course, our special guest. He's the director, but he made an appearance in the studio today. Brendan Martin and Hunter checked in on the phone. Today in sports, buddy. I don't know if you, I'm going to give you the year. See if you can figure it out. This day in sports, 1974.
1974. It was my last year of sports editor of the St. Petersburg Times, now Tampa Bay Times. 74. Was that the baseball?
It is a baseball thing.
Was this same date?
It's this date.
I'm drawing a blank.
Ray Kroc, CEO of McDonald's, buys the San Diego Padres baseball team for a then unheard of $12 million.
Mr. McDonald's.
Now the Padres got players sitting on the bench that make that a year.
All right, on behalf of my broadcast partners, Tom Spitz, Hunter Turner, Director Brendan Martin, David Nash, and Shelby Williams on the job, I'm Buddy Martin. Have a great night, everybody.